As adorable as they may seem, you'll never be able to have one of these at home. Today, you're going to meet the 10 cutest exotic animals in the world that are banned from being kept as pets, whether by law, for safety reasons, or simply because they belong in the wild. And the last one on the list. It looks like a plush toy with superpowers. If you're into animal facts that mix cuteness with surprise, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell us in the comments which one stole your heart. Let's dive in. 10th place. Pygmy Jerboa, the giant-eared jumping mouse. It looks like a miniature cartoon character, and it's hard to believe it's real. The Pygmy Jerboa, also known as the desert jerboa, is one of the tiniest, cutest mammals in nature. But adorable as it is, it cannot be domesticated or kept as a pet. This small rodent lives in the deserts of China and Mongolia, in extremely arid regions. Its appearance is enchanting: a round body, light-colored fur, a long tail tipped in black, and giant ears, bigger than its head. Those ears help dissipate heat and give it incredibly sensitive hearing, essential for detecting predators at night. But the coolest thing, its movement. The jerboa doesn't walk. It hops, like a mini kangaroo. With long, slender back legs, it can leap up to 1 meter. Impressive for a creature barely 4 inches long. Its diet is simple: seeds, roots, and small insects. It almost never needs to drink water, getting all it needs from food and its environment. Despite its fragile look, it's well adapted to desert life. It's nocturnal, hides in deep burrows during the day, and moves nimbly to escape owls and foxes. But no matter how cute, it doesn't survive outside its habitat. It's extremely sensitive to environment, diet, and stress. That's why it's illegal to keep it as a pet, both by law and out of respect for its wild nature. Ever seen this mini sand jumper? Tell us in the comments. Did it jump into your list of forbidden cute animals? 9th place. Pygmy Marmisette, the pocket-sized monkey you can't own. Can you imagine a monkey smaller than your phone? The Pygmy Marmisette, also called Cebuella pygmea, is the smallest primate in the world, and one of the cutest. These tiny monkeys live in the tropical rainforests of the Amazon basin, in Brazil, Peru, Colombia, and Ecuador. They measure around 6 inches, including the tail, and weigh less than 5 ounces. That's tiny enough to balance on a pencil-thin branch. Their fur is thick, with shades of gold, brown, and gray that camouflage them among moss and bark. But what steals the show are their curious eyes, expressive faces, and tiny hands, perfect for climbing everything around them. Pygmy marmosettes live in family groups with intense social behavior. They communicate with high-pitched calls and whistles, and babies are carried on parents' backs, switching caregivers throughout the day. They feed on tree sap, small fruits, and insects, using sharp teeth to gouge tree bark. As irresistible as they are, you can't keep them as pets. It's illegal in many countries, and they depend on their natural habitat, constant interaction with their group, and a very specific diet. Removing a pygmy marmoset from the forest is essentially sentencing it to stress and suffering. Sadly, illegal trafficking is still a real threat to them. They belong in treetops, not cages or glass displays. Ever heard of these pocket monkeys? Comment below. Would you dare to hold one, if you could? 8th place. Snowy owl. The Arctic guardian that hypnotizes with its gaze. It looks like it flew out of a fantasy book. With white plumage and piercing golden eyes, the snowy owl is one of the most beautiful and majestic birds in the wild. This majestic hunter lives in the Arctic regions, North America, Greenland, Scandinavia, and Siberia. Adapted to extreme cold, its body is covered with dense feathers, even on its feet, protecting it from the freezing tundra. As cute as it is, the snowy owl is an experienced predator. With sharp eyesight and hearing, it hunts during dawn and dusk, feeding on lemmings, Arctic hares, and occasionally catching birds in mid-flight. The most impressive trait? It can fly in complete silence. Its feathers are specially adapted to muffle sound, making it nearly invisible until it strikes. During breeding season, it becomes territorial and protective, attacking intruders, even humans, with low flights, pecks, and sharp claws. No matter how enchanting, it's illegal to keep as a pet. It needs freedom to fly long distances and a very specific diet. It's not meant for cages. It belongs to the frozen skies, white plains, and silent Arctic winds. Have you ever seen one live or just in movies? Comment below. Has this exotic snowy hunter become your current favorite? 7th place. Sand cat. The desert kitty that roams silent dunes. It's the size of a house cat, with big eyes and a calm expression. But don't be fooled. The sand cat, Felis margarita, is a born hunter and survivor in some of the harshest environments on Earth. This feline lives in the deserts of North Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, and parts of Central Asia. With padded paws and light fur, it's perfectly camouflaged on hot sands and dry landscapes. It can live in temperatures from 40 degrees Celsius by day to freezing at night, without water for weeks at a time. It measures around 20 inches, weighing 2 to 3 kilograms. Small, but incredibly tough. It feeds on rodents, insects, lizards, and even venomous snakes, hunting them with speed and precision. Here's the twist. It meows and purrs like a domestic cat, but it's completely wild. It's nocturnal, solitary, and avoids human contact at all costs. So elusive, it was once considered a ghost of the desert. Only recently have photos and videos captured its wild behavior. Although it looks like it could be domesticated, owning one is strictly forbidden. It needs space, silence, and a simulated desert environment. Impossible in a home environment. Can you imagine spotting one on a desert trek? Comment below. Does this wild kitty surprise you with its split personality? 6th place. Red Panda. The tree-dwelling fox that captures hearts. It looks like a mix between a fox, raccoon, and plush teddy bear. The red panda, also called the lesser panda, is one of the most photogenic and charming animals in the wild, and one of the absolute cutest creatures you can never own. This small mammal lives in mountain forests across the Himalayas, China, Nepal, and Bhutan. It prefers cold, densely vegetated, high-altitude environments. It sports reddish fur, a bushy striped tail, pointed ears, and a muzzle that always seems curious. A fantastic climber, it spends most of its time in the treetops, resting or moving gracefully among branches. Its diet is bamboo, much like its giant panda cousin. But it also nibbles on fruits, leaves, flowers, and small insects. Don't let the adorable look fool you. It can defend itself fiercely. It stands on its hind legs, flashes its claws, and hisses like an angry cat to look bigger and scare off predators. Sadly, the red panda is critically endangered, threatened by habitat loss and illegal wildlife trade. Many are captured for the exotic pet trade, a practice that's not only illegal but devastating and cruel. You can't keep it as a pet. It needs freedom, a cold climate, and the complexity of its wild forest home. Have you ever seen one in real life? Comment below. Would this adorable dream pet still melt your heart, even knowing it belongs in the wild? 5th place. Slow loris. The cute primate with a hidden bite. Think plush toy with giant eyes and slow, deliberate movements. But behind that adorable exterior, the slow loris is the only venomous primate on Earth, and unfortunately, many people still try to make one a pet. This nocturnal animal lives in Southeast Asian rainforests, in Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. It measures about 12 inches long, has massive night vision eyes, and moves so slowly it seems to exist in slow motion. It stays hidden high in the canopy and rarely descends to the ground. But don't be fooled by the cuteness. The slow loris has glands on its arms that secrete toxin. When it licks its arms and bites someone, the venom enters the saliva, causing allergic reactions, intense pain, and even life-threatening symptoms. Tragically, they're often caught for illegal pet trade because they look cute. Many end up in internet videos being cuddled, though most have their teeth painfully removed to prevent biting. Keeping a slow loris as a pet is not just illegal, but dangerous and deeply cruel. If you're watching on TV, here's a thought for today. Subscribe, like, and comment below. Did you know these sweet-looking animals could be venomous? Your voice helps spread awareness and protect these incredible wild creatures from being exploited. 4th place. Cheetah. The elegant sprinter of the savannah. It's the fastest land animal on Earth, but the cheetah is much more than sheer speed. The cheetah is one of nature's most elegant and sensitive big cats. With a slender body, long legs, and signature tear-streaked eyes, It looks like it's been hand-drawn. It thrives in African savannas and parts of Iran, preferring open land where it can unleash its top speed. It can hit 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometers per hour, in mere seconds. Faster than many cars. But it can only sustain that speed briefly before overheating. Despite its fierce hunting abilities, it is hit with low aggression. It avoids confrontations with lions and hyenas and rarely takes down prey larger than itself. Here's something few know. Cheetahs purr like house cats, and they produce soft chirps to communicate with their cubs. Horribly, cheetahs fare poorly in captivity. They're overtime sensitive, need vast space, silence, and most importantly, freedom to run. Keeping one as a pet is not just illegal, it's undeniably cruel. Many die in captivity, plagued by anxiety and depression. This big cat belongs to the plains, the wind, and the joy of unrestricted sprinting, not cages or luxury displays. Have you ever dreamed of owning one? Comment. Did the cheetah win your heart with its grace, not just its speed? Third place, penguin, the gentle marcher of icy lands. They waddle adorably, swim with grace, and look like they're wearing tiny tuxedos. Penguins are masters of charm, and it's easy to wish for one as a pet. But that dream is completely off-limits. Penguins are cold-adapted social seabirds living in the southern hemisphere, especially Antarctica, Patagonia, subantarctic islands, and cold coastal areas. They're expert swimmers, diving up to 300 meters, spending minutes underwater hunting fish and squid. Their bodies are built for cold survival, with waterproof feathers, thick blubber, and sleek forms perfect for underwater gliding. On land, they appear clumsy, but that's part of their charm. Waddling in lines, sliding on their bellies, looking like they're having fun on ice. They live in huge colonies, sometimes thousands strong. They do things like sing within pairs and share chick-raising responsibilities. Some species go for weeks without eating during incubation. Separating a penguin from its colony is essentially a death sentence. Captive penguins are a no-go. They require constant cold, salt water, space, and social interaction. Impossible to replicate in homes. No matter how tempting, penguins aren't pets. They're nature's ambassadors of charm, and deserve to be admired from afar. Do you love penguins? Comment below. Which species is your favorite? Emperor, Magellanic, Adelie. Second place, snow leopard, the elegant ghost of the frozen mountains. Silent, elusive, and almost invisible. The snow leopard, also known as Panthera uncia, is one of the most difficult big cats to spot in the wild, and one of the most breathtaking. It lives high in the icy mountains of Central Asia, in countries like Nepal, Bhutan, China, Mongolia, and Afghanistan. Its habitat sits between 10,000 and 16,000 feet, 3,000 to 5,000 meters, where temperatures drop to -4 degrees Fahrenheit, -20 degrees Celsius. Its fur is long, dense, and soft, a mesmerizing blend of white, gray, and black rosettes. Its tail is thick and fluffy, used for balance and to wrap around itself for warmth. Weighing up to 110 pounds, 50 kilograms, this big cat is surprisingly agile. It can leap more than 50 feet, 15 meters, in a single bound, moving between cliffs as if floating through thin air. But what truly fascinates people is its secretive nature. Snow leopards are solitary, avoid humans, and are most active at night or dusk. For decades, they were considered almost mythical, with only a handful of images ever captured. As cuddly as it may look, the snow leopard cannot survive in a domestic setting. It is a wild, endangered species, protected by international law. Trying to keep one is a crime, and a guarantee of suffering. It belongs to the mountains, to silence, to the freezing winds. Have you ever seen photos of this mountain ghost? Comment below if this majestic cat just became one of your favorites too. First place, Platypus. Nature's funniest, fuzziest Frankenstein. It has a duckbill, a beaver tail, otter feet, and it lays eggs. The platypus is without a doubt the strangest and most lovable creature in the animal kingdom. This bizarre mammal lives only in eastern Australia and Tasmania. It inhabits freshwater rivers, spends much of its time swimming, and burrows into muddy riverbanks to rest and raise its young. And here's the real kicker: though it's a mammal, the platypus lays eggs. Even more surprising, the males have venomous spurs on their hind legs, capable of causing intense pain in humans. Its flat, rubbery bill is electroreceptive, helping it detect prey underwater even with its eyes closed. It feeds on small crustaceans, aquatic insects, and worms. The platypus is shy, nocturnal, and incredibly difficult to keep in captivity. Even Australian zoos struggle to recreate the right conditions. That's why owning one as a pet is absolutely forbidden worldwide. But none of that dims its charm. With its clumsy waddle, soft brown fur, and curious expression, it has won hearts across the globe. And that's why we end our list here, with the weirdest, cutest animal you'll never be allowed to keep. If you're watching on TV, now's the time to make that mental note. Subscribe, like, and comment. Which animal won you over? And which one would you love to see up close, in the wild, of course? These animals are stunning, fascinating, and without a doubt, one of a kind. But what if I told you there are fish that glow in the dark, have deadly venom, or even look like melted dolls? That's right. Our previous video showcased 15 of the weirdest fish that actually exist, and they just keep getting stranger. Click the video on your screen now and continue this journey into the wildest side of nature. You won't believe what made. See you there.